Halloween ends. I filmed one of these and then I messed something up, so I needed to film again. But it gave me some time to think about this movie. At first I didn't. It was C to me, C plus. It was passable. I thought, at first you're like, why are they bringing this character in at the end? But you know what? Big thing about these three movies, I think they're going back to what John Carpenter, what is Michael Myers? He is pure evil. That's what Sam Loomis says. Pure evil. So, you've got to think of these movies, they are coming at you through the idea of showing you and talking about what true evil is. In the first one, the doctor wants to see the replacement doctor, I forget his name right now, he wants to see Michael in action. He read everything Sam Loomis did, and Sam Loomis wanted to keep him away because he knew what pure evil is. The darkest eyes, blank stare. Michael Myers is pure evil. He's the example of the boogeyman, true bad evil. So Loomis 1 and 2, keep him locked away. New Doctor wanted to see him in action. New Doctor got to see him in action firsthand. But the first movie is about Michael being set out. It's the experiment. It is a scientific experiment by that doctor. How will he react? Michael was dormant for 40 years because he didn't have the opportunity. And Halloween Kills shows that once he was surrounded by cops and he knew, it was like, well, I'm not getting out of this one right now. He shut down again and he bided his time. And the minute he had the ability to, the opportunity to, he started going ham. So, Halloween 2018 is about the experiment of what would Michael do in the situation given. Stimuli was put in front of him, and he did exactly what you would think he would do. He'd start killing people. So, Halloween Kills. What happened to the town? What basal things did they succumb to? They succumb to a different form of evil. That evil is mob mentality, and the other guy that jumped out of the window at the hospital shows that mob mentality is evil as well. Michael's gonna go do what Michael does and continue his killing, but what happens to us? What's our reaction to it? What are the townsfolk going to do? And they made a mistake. They succumbed. That's not even a word. They submitted to evil and tried to fight fire with fire, and Michael won that one. So, first movie, the experiment of evil. What's Michael going to do? Michael does exactly what he's going to do. Halloween Kills. What is the reaction? What is the reaction to Michael killing? And that reaction was, let's go lynch him. And it didn't work because you fought fire with fire, and it did not work. And Halloween Ends is its own thing. We also have to think about what's happening with Laurie. Laurie because Laurie at Halloween 18 and Halloween Ends are totally different people. Laurie was in her preparedness. She would rather her family hate her and be prepared than have a family and try and live a normal life. She trapped Michael. She got him, and he escaped. And she was sidelined for the Halloween Kills because it happens right up by it. Fast forward 4 years, she is coping. She knows Michael Myers is out there, but she realized that her living in fear and hatred of Michael, what is he going to do, was leading her to an end just like him. They were on a similar trajectory. She stalked Michael in 2018. He didn't stalk her, but she realizes this, and she moved on. We got exactly what we want to see from Laurie. She gets to be a human being, a normal person. She gets to try and go out on a date with the guy she liked. That's awesome. Super cute. In Halloween Ends when they're... I love that sheriff. He's super a good actor. Armageddon's a terrible movie, but he's good in it. But anyway, she gets to move on. She gets to be Susie Homemaker, Pie Baker. It's great. We get to see that. So what I think the thing is that with Halloween Ends, they, of course, were going to wrap up the Michael and Laurie thing. But they also had one more movie to tell a tale about evil. And that evil is Corey. I think the gentleman who played Corey did a wonderful, wonderful job. I think that what they're trying to get is, you're seeing evil happen again. The town has gone... I don't think they do a good enough job explaining why everybody's a dick in that town now. They're just blaming Laurie for egging him on and whatnot. I don't think they do as good a job as they could of explaining, like, the town has given itself to evil and now they're all dicks. But what I do think is, through the story arc of Corey, they're showing that not necessarily that evil's within all of us, but if you push somebody in that direction, they can also turn evil. They can turn bad. And if you take Corey at face value that he's just the kid that cuts the grass, the neighbor kid that cuts the grass, and then he turns into a serial killer, or at least on a tear, then you kind of see him turn into evil in front of you. And since Laurie has seen it, she can identify it, and she knows what to do in the situation, so she tried to stop it. I think I will say that the love story is a little, smushed in there, but Laurie needed to come into contact with Corey, and there needed to be something that Laurie had to act. If Corey didn't date her granddaughter, Laurie probably would have been like, peace out, this ain't my problem. I am going to go bake pies and see some cherry blossoms. By the way, go to Japan. Japan Tourism Board should really get with this Halloween Ends thing, synergy. It's beautiful. Yen's awesome right now, too. But anyway, we go back to Halloween Ends. So, I think you have to look at it as like, we know Laurie and Michael are going to get at it again. We know this is going to happen. What I think it's doing is, Michael was sidelined. Maybe being 70 years old, and once the adrenaline of that night wore off, his body couldn't handle healing that much. He got shot like 12 times. Got hit with stuff, hit with a car, all that stuff. Maybe his body was just giving up because we all get old. Guess what? We all get old. If a 70-year-old could take one of the things Michael took, you'd be a pretty strong 70-year-old. Just saying. So, I think the focus... You go into a movie expecting Michael Myers, and you get this whole different thing, and you can be let down by, oh no, it's not about Michael Myers. It's like, think about even the director said it's going to subvert expectation. think about it. It has a lot of ties to Halloween 3, but not in the masks and stuff like that. In that, and think about it as that anthology. An anthology of horror movies is what they wanted it to become. And Halloween 3 tried it, and it failed spectacularly. It's a spectacularly awesome movie on its own, but it didn't. It's not what the marketing failed it, and the audience didn't understand it. Okay, so it's now a darling of the cult following, yada yada yada. I love the movie, but think about it. Why can't Halloween Ends be an anthology movie? Think about it as an anthology movie that is bringing another question of what evil is to you, and you get to see what happens. Now, Corey's arc ends. He is evil, but he is stopped. And Laurie and Michael have it out. Two people in their 60s. What are we looking for? A Deadpool or John Wick ending where they're duking it out with attack, self-defense stuff and throwing knives and what is this? This is two 60-something-year-olds fighting. So what happens? It's over relatively quick to the movie because the movie is about 2 hours long. Yeah, I think it could have been. They should have made it 2.5 hours. Flesh it out more. I'm hoping the Blu-ray 4K Blu-ray is extended, just like Kills. But anyway, they kill. Silly goosery at the end. It is pretty there's two parts where you kind of just laugh, and it's not bad funny. It's like that trick or treat funny. It's like that gallows humor almost. It's when the end with Michael Myers on the top of a Ford Focus like a Christmas tree is kind of silly. It's silly because the people take horror way too seriously sometimes. And look, man, what are you gonna do? She wants him to be destroyed. What are you gonna do? Put him in the trunk? Yeah, throw him on the top of the hood. But it's just kind of funny to say. And then that first scene with Corey and that brat kid, it is incredibly well shot, and that is it gives you that old school slasher thing, that old school horror. It did John Carpenter proud because it didn't use trickery or boo-scarery. It used dread and ambiance and music. But when that kid hits the ground, or the sequence of events where he kicks the door open and the parrots say something and he splats, it's that have you ever had that uncomfortable laugh where you're like, oh shit, oh dang, that's what happened to me in the theater. So it's funny because that's kind of the end of the scene, so it breaks the tension of that scene, and then you go into the story arc. So Halloween Ends. Overall, walking away from it, I gave it a C+, but I think it's going to be one of these movies that I need to see at least once or twice more. But I'm going to give it an A, sheerly because it tries something different, it subverts expectations, and it gives you another look at what evil is. Did it do its best? Did any of these movies do its best? Because the one thing about Sam Loomis is oh, he's evil, he's pure evil. You have to buy in to what you're seeing is pure evil with Michael Myers. And if you are here to buy into Michael Myers being pure evil, then look at Corey as he is becoming pure evil. Look, something happened with Michael when he was 6, and or something happened before, and it culminated in that. We don't know that backstory, which is good, which is perfect. We don't need to know the backstory on Michael Myers. You just need to know he is pure evil. So, watch these movies again on the idea of you're looking at a portrait of evil. And I think you'll enjoy all three of these movies more. The more I watch these movies, the more I enjoy them. Usually, a lot of movies, it's like you get less out of them the more you watch them. But I really do think I can't wait to see Halloween Ends again. I could get Peacock and watch it again, of course, but I'm going to give it a little breather, think about it a little bit more, and I want to see it on physical media. And hopefully that will be sooner or later, because I think, the Blu-ray is early January. And between, November and December, that time goes by like this because of the holidays. So, and there might be another way I'm going to see it. Hopefully it comes to me sooner than later. But I'm excited to see it again in physical media. I want to see it. I want to be able to pause it. That's what was cool. That's what's cool about tape, is you get to pause it. That being said, I'm going to give this movie an A. It may go down. It may go down to a B, B+, but it might stay an A. So I'm probably in the minority of have very high. My grades have gotten better on these movies. So tell me what y'all think. I think this one's actually probably going to go to YouTube, because right now it's about 17 minutes long, and that's a lot for somebody to watch Instagram for. So I'll probably just have to share a link. Like, again, I tried to post something the other day, and I messed up speaking. So I wanted to redo this, and I had time to think, and I had one of my really good friends, my friend Scott, he really had some good points that got me thinking about this movie, and I want to thank him, because he's very astute on this stuff, and I definitely took his thoughts on it and when I made this movie. So thank you, Scotty boy. Love you. Anywho, Halloween Ends. Next, I'm going to do, because I never did a really good Halloween one of these, I'm going to do Halloween, and then I'm going to wrap up the series. So thank you all for watching these. If one person watches them, awesome. If no one watches them, awesome. Hey, it doesn't bother me. I just like doing it. Anywho, you all have a wonderful evening. Happy Halloween. This is actually Halloween. The Halloweens. What a journey. I can honestly say, in September, I kind of pre-ranked all these movies, and a lot of them went up, and a lot of them went down. Overall, I think Halloween is the best slasher movie ever. But is it the best series of slashers ever? I would still say Friday the 13th is better, in my opinion. These are all opinions. Hey, everybody has their opinion. But I think there's more good movies in the Friday the 13th than there are in the Halloweens. Halloween 1, A++. S, it's the best. Halloween 3 doesn't count because it's not in the same universe. So you got an S and an A. You have 18, the new 3 that are A's and B's. But man, truthfully speaking, in their middle, 2's a B. 4 is a B. I'll give it a B. But 5, 6, like 5, 6, and Resurrection just they tank it. Oh man, they're bad. They're just bad movies. They're not even bad Halloween movies. They're bad movies. Like they're not enjoyable to watch. I get why people say Resurrection's so bad it's fun, but I don't need to watch it ever again. And 6 is not very good either. 5 is absolutely a terrible movie. It brings 4 down because it's like, what could have been? They had some good ideas at the end of the 4. Michael's dead. He fell into a sunken, whatever that thing was, a pit. and the kiddo's going to take over. Solid idea. They didn't have to immediately make a movie within the same year. That's scary. That they could have waited and made a very good movie. She could have been in a sanitarium for a while or a mental institution, but it just didn't work. It brings 4 down. It's like I don't really like watching the Matrix movies because all the other Matrixes have kind of brought the first one down to a low average. But overall, Halloween as a series, man, some of them are hard to like, and not even like. Some of them are hard to get through. Whereas, man, at its worst, the Friday the 13th, 5 is, heck, a lot of people are talking about like Halloween Ends and 5's being very similar, and I'm gonna tip my hat to 5 because it is different. I'll give it that. It's not my favorite Friday the 13th, but if you look at it, they tried something new. Jason was buried in the ground. What are they gonna do? And it does some interesting things. It's shot really weird in that grungy, not pornographic way, but it's a little dingy. But man, even at its low, Friday the 13th isn't that bad. Seven is it's okay. I think the MPAA kind of, if it was gorier, everybody would like it a lot more. 8 is bad, but it's not so bad that I never want to watch it again. Jason Goes to Hell is bad, but I actually want to watch it again because I haven't seen it in so long. Maybe it's that bad that I'll have to say, oh man, it's terrible, but it cannot be as bad as 5 or 6 or Resurrection. So overall, I think Halloween is the best slasher movie, but as a series, it doesn't live up to being the best slasher series. There's some new slashers that are coming out, like that. Apparently, that Terrifier stuff is a slasher, and I've heard it is insane. So I need to watch it. But overall, I would say a lot of them improved, but a lot of them went so far down that it kind of kills the average. Don't you hate that? When a teacher grades on an average, and if the average isn't high, if the class average isn't high enough, everybody fails crap. That's exactly what Halloween 5 and 6 do. They just kind of tank it. It's called the rights holders not having the right ideas about how to handle the property. We see it all the time, especially in horror. But overall, I love Halloween. Halloween's 1, 3, 18, kills, ends. I will watch those regularly. I'll pop in 4 now pretty regularly and 2 pretty regularly because one thing about 4 is it gets that Halloween, that intro, that's pure fall Halloween awesomeness. It has good things going for it. It has bad things going for it, but overall it does its job. But yeah, I think as a whole, I'm glad I watched all these movies because I know which ones I never have to watch again. And Halloween 5 is that one. If it's on TV, I'll change the channel probably even. I think I said earlier that, if it's on TV in the background, yeah. But no, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad stuff. So thank you for watching all these. That's just kind of a wrap up on the series as a whole. And thank you so much.